Oh, I had a request from Laura Jet for to start the show.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm in California now, which is fun and exciting. But all over the radio is a certain Taylor Swift song, and Laura's doing this thing where she's trying to switch through radio stations to find which station has the song.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know the name of the song, because on the panel for the car, it says the name of the song. I'm like, I don't know what it's called. And she's like, I bet you anything Jet would know. You need to ask him. So,
of course I do.
Do you know the newest single by Taylor Swift?
It's
new as in like a week ago.
I actually even know it as well. So.
Do you?
It's my favorite song on that CD. Before the CD came out, I heard that song and went, oh man, that song is Hot Fire Flames. I knew that was going to be big.
Yeah, I know it's not We Are Never Getting Back Together, so it's whatever one beyond that.
It is I Knew You Were Trouble.
Yeah, that's right.
Ding, 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 ding.
Trouble. Yes, that is.
This song is so sick.
That's it, yeah.
When they have the dubstep drop in,
oh man.
Top. Hello again, and welcome to episode 7 of the recurring Bosscast, Split Kick's fortnightly podcast. I am your host, Jet from SplitKick.com. With me is Matt from Biff Bam Pop.
How's it going?
And Jason, all the way out in California from
Hello.
Inside Gaming Daily and Slick Gaming.
Good to be here.
Yeah, so what are you doing all the way out there?
I am visiting my girlfriend, Laura. So we've been apart for a few months because of school separating us by a few thousand miles, but we're visiting, so it's nice. Right now I'm just trying to enjoy the sun, although it's kind of cold. I'm going to say cold, but it's really actually like 50, which is pretty warm. But comparatively for what it was, other times in California, it's kind of chilly now. So
I saw a bunch of news stories with news anchors saying things like, you have to build a fire and keep warm. It's 11 degrees outside.
It's funny because, there's this stereotype that people in California don't know what it's like to be really cold. And yeah, I guess it's kind of true because I'm walking around and I'm wearing my t-shirt and like a hoodie. And it's a little chilly, but people have huge coats on and they're wearing like 2 layers of pants. And it's just kind of like, man, come on, guys. This isn't that cold.
Yeah.
But it's nice.
One of the news anchors said something along the lines of, prepare yourselves for the coldest 4 days in the history of your lives.
Oh my gosh. Not at all.
It's 11 degrees.
Yeah. It is kind of interesting to note, though, that Laura's dad said that there was frost on the ground like a week ago. And, it's really not common at all. And it's kind of bad for like the vegetation and everything. So it actually is very cold here, just compared to other areas. I'm sure Canada, it's not as cold as Canada.
It was pretty cold today, I think.
It's getting colder, too.
In Celsius, it was -6. I don't know what that translates to into Fahrenheit.
That's close to 0, I'd say.
Yeah, I would say that's like 25, maybe.
Yeah,
26.
if not a little bit lower. Yeah, it's been crazy in Indiana. When I call home, my mom says that it's 17 degrees today. It's the high, and I'm like, yeah, we're at 50, so not missing it at all.
Yeah.
So, Jason, I want to know all about your West Coast adventures.
Okay.
Since you've been hyping this up for weeks now.
I have. So we started out and we went to Las Vegas for 4 days, and we got to go to the Consumer Electronics Show.
Nice.
So we went to CES, and it was my first time in Vegas. Vegas is really nice. It's big, and it smells like coconuts, which is strange. But it was pleasing, and it was a fun time in Vegas. But we were really there for the show. And the show actually was really great, and it kind of translates well into the Bosscast here, because I tried to search out gaming stuff, which there wasn't too much, because a lot of the CES was about TVs, cell phones, and like new technology like that. And I can let you know that the new technology coming forward for televisions is going to be Super HD, so it's kind of being pegged as 4 times as HD as current HD.
Wow!
So there was this huge display. It had to be like 16 TVs of one image, and it was just this crazy detailed like space adventure, and everything was so crisp. And it looked really good. And I can see it replacing HD easily, but it's going to come to a point where consumers are going to say, how much more HD do we need? But it looks really nice. So I guess you can probably be prepared in probably within the year, and definitely a year or two, to start buying new TVs. And in terms of gaming stuff, I got to see Project S.H.I.E.L.D, the new NVIDIA handheld thingy.
Okay.
Nice.
And that's pretty cool. They had it under glass, so you couldn't pick it up and play with it or anything. But they did have some hands-on demos going on, so you can kind of see someone playing it, like an NVIDIA staffer. And that thing's pretty cool. Like I wasn't too impressed when I saw the news reports for it before, but when I got to the show, it could be an impactful device. And I say that because NVIDIA is relatively new to gaming stuff, but their Tegra 4 engine looks phenomenal. It's true HD graphics, like sitting in the palm of your hand, and it's very, very impressive. So I think people will probably try to. It seems like NVIDIA is trying to do what Sony did with the PSP and make a more quote-unquote hardcore handheld to go against now it's the iPhone and the DS or 3DS. So, it could happen. It looks really, really cool. And the controller setup feels comfortable in your hand. You can see him looking at, or when he's playing it, and it just looked fine. It looked like you were holding a PS3 controller or something like that. And the sort of the flip version of the screen, it all fit really well. So it's very well designed. So I could see that being impactful in the future. It just depends now on getting the games. So hopefully you get some good games.
Yeah. So maybe you can clarify this one thing for me, Jason. There aren't actually any guts in the S.H.I.E.L.D controller. It's just streaming video feed from your computer, right? I am not positive. It felt like the controller, when he was holding it, had heft. So there's got to be something in there. Maybe it's just for the screen. But I thought that you could get some storage on the console. Well, I guess you could say portable itself. But I believe it does also stream. So I think you can do both. Okay.
But yeah, I'm not positive on the details there, because that's not really they were talking about when I was up there. So.
And I know the speakers are actually in the handset as well, right?
That's right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know. Maybe I have. Admittedly, I have not been following Project S.H.I.E.L.D too closely, but from what I've heard on other podcasts and stuff, were that a lot of the heavy-duty PC games were actually running off a PC and just kind of streaming into the controller, kind of like the Wii U gamepad.
Yeah, that could be, because I would say that's probably the future of a lot of that style of game or gameplay. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's the majority of it.
Yeah, so I'm on the website actually right now. It says that it gives you the power to wirelessly access your GeForce GTX powered computer from the comfort of your couch. Play your favorite PC games, including great titles from Steam, on a full-size game controller with ultra-low latency.
Yep.
So I'm assuming, yes, it is streaming to the controller.
I didn't know what game he was playing. It was a third-person action game, but I had no idea what it was. So I couldn't tell you if that came off of Steam, but I wouldn't be surprised, just because, it looked super crisp. And if that's what they're trying to show you, I would imagine that's how they did it. So it looks good.
And it's saying here that it can play AC3, Battlefield 3, Borderlands 2, Dishonored, Skyrim. Wow. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, you steaming it up. I can move on from there, and I can talk. I saw the XI3 Steam box.
Ooh,
but
all right.
Do you want to talk about that now, or should we do it later?
Yeah, sure.
This is definitely getting into the Bosscast topic of the week. But this one, it wasn't. This wasn't really anything to look at besides the box, because it's not called the Steam box. That's what everyone's calling it. It's the XI3, and I can't think of the company that's making it. But essentially what it'll do is it'll stream all of your content from your computer through Steam, through this box, and you can play on TV through Steam's big screen mode, or whatever it's called, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
big picture mode.
Big picture mode, that's right. Thank you.
Yep.
And yeah, if it works the way they say it will work, this is essentially the Steam box. So it's basically the console version of Steam. And It looks nice. The box, the coolest thing I liked about the box, it's very, very small. So you should be able to essentially take it to someone else's house and play over there. So that's kind of neat. It's kind of like, I guess, what they were thinking with the GameCube, but never really happened with the little handle and everything. But there's also 3 or 4, maybe it's even 2, I'm not sure, changeable slots in the box. You can take it out. So if you have to upgrade your system to play more games, instead of buying a whole new box, you can get a disc or whatever, and you can, what is it called? A thing, some sort of motherboard thing. You can slide it in there, and then you can slot that in, and it'll replace the old tech, and you can get a new, new support for new games, so you don't have to buy a whole new box. A blade, it's a blade, yeah. So you can get that in there, and you can upgrade that way. And the box was supposed to be a few $100, and then each new upgrade through that sort of Blade motherboard tech will be another $100 or so. But that's still a lot less than paying, for a whole new computer. So it's pretty nice. A nice choice.
So I was actually editing a article for David Hughes of Splitkick, and he had some concerns about this Steam box.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's going to be up by then, but one of his points was the size of that particular box itself, and how it looks like a very tiny box, and because of that, it's not the most ideal setup for the most powerful system that it could be.
Yeah, I see where he's coming from, because the box is small. Like, I'm trying to look at anything in this room that is comparable to that box. I don't know, if you have like one of those day-by-day desk calendars where you flip each page, that's kind of the size of it in terms of like width, not really volume.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's tiny, and I guess it's really like if the tech catches up to that size of the box, then it won't really matter, because you can make some sort of technological board that can produce crazy good graphics and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I am not a big enough PC geek to say if that's big enough size to produce that. But if it says you can run Steam through that box. And if that's the case, then I imagine that you're going to be able to run games like Assassin's Creed 3 right now and Borderlands 2 and all that jazz. The new current stuff. So I would assume it would be okay. I'm not sure. That's just an assumption.
The specs are pretty good.
Yeah. I think that some of it still runs through your PC too. So I don't know how, if they're going to have like PC processing as well as the box itself, or how it's going to work.
What was the weirdest piece of tech you saw at CES?
Weirdest tech? There's lots of cell phone stuff that just doesn't seem necessary. I'm trying to think of anything that's crazy. Oh, okay, now I got one. There was for the iPhone or iPad, they have big zooms that you see on like a regular Canon camera to like zoom in. So you know how you see like professional photographers at like, I don't know, sports events, they have those huge zooms to get closer shots? Yeah, shrink that down to iPad size and you can buy those.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, it's kind of like, okay, I think you missed the entire purpose. So, but it was pretty funny. Other like random cool tech, I've seen it before, but there's Sony is making these glasses that you can put on over regular glasses if you need to. And if you're playing like a video game, like a two-player game, instead of doing split screen, if you wear one pair of glasses, you can only see one thing, and the other player can only see one other thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, they had two players were playing Gran Turismo on the same screen, multiplayer, and if you don't have the glasses, you see both images at the same time, but if you're wearing the glasses, you see just your car in the background, or you see just the other car in the background. So it's kind of cool. It gets rid of screen viewing, or whatever it's called, screen looking. So that's kind of neat. I got to see the new God of War game, Ascension, the new Sly Cooper. Saw those ones. And I actually finally got to play a PS Vita in their booth. So it was my first time I played it. Yeah, I wouldn't say nice. It was just okay. It wasn't like mind-boggling, but it wasn't new tech at the time. It was just there, and I can't remember the game I played, but it was cool. It felt weird in my hand. Like it was thin, but it was also fat in terms of like, I don't know, width. It felt kind of strange. Yeah. I'm used to a DS, and that wasn't a DS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. It was neat to see all that crazy stuff. Huge convention, like huge space. We definitely did not see everything, and yeah, it was fun. I'm honored to be able to have gone, and yeah, I would look forward to all that stuff coming out soon. Sorry, I've talked a lot. You guys should talk.
All right, Matt, what's going on with you?
Not gaming related. I joined a floor hockey league. So I play ice hockey fairly regularly, and we were looking for something to do, my girlfriend and I, and one of our friends talked about this floor hockey league that they were joining. And we're talking floor hockey like you'd play in gym class in high school, with like the plastic sticks and the, I guess, road hockey pads, baseball glove combo kind of thing. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. I've never played, well, since high school anyway, anything like that. So we're kind of looking forward to it. It's something for us to do together too. And my brother's going to play, and a bunch of our friends are going to be in it as well. So, on my end, that's pretty much the only really exciting thing that's happened in the last 2 weeks.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, my one glory moment of floor hockey happened in grade 4.
Nice. You have a good memory.
Yeah, really.
It was me and my best friend at the time, Fez. We were both on the same team. It was the Boston Bruins, and we were up against the only other undefeated team at the time, the Montreal Canadiens.
Nice.
And I was the goalie. He was our main forward. And it came down to the last second, and their star player, we're up one goal. I think, yeah, we're up by one goal. Star player comes down on the right wing, takes a slap shot at the buzzer, and all I remember was like wildly flailing my glove upwards, doing like trying to do the dramatic glove save thing.
Yeah.
And I just whip it up, grab, and did not realize what happened. Like, I just did it on impulse, and then I bring my hand down, look into the glove, ball was there, threw the glove off, just ran around the gym celebrating. That was one of the best sporting moments of my life.
Awesome. Very, very cool.
Yes, that's exciting.
So that was my floor hockey story, the only one I really have. But things happening of late. Steph and I are looking for a new place to live.
Why?
Couple of reasons. One, the layout of our particular place. It's a little narrow, particularly for Steph who wants to move around some furniture and lay things out a certain way. Mm-hmm. And then there's also the
stabbing in the hallway.
Not so much anymore. Things have calmed down here.
Okay.
And also, I think that Steph and I have come to realize we still spend a lot of time with our families on the West End. So driving all the way out here after going all the way out west it's too much of a trek for us. So
makes sense.
We are looking for something a little closer to the west side. So particularly somewhat closer to you, Matt.
Right on.
Yeah. So we've seen a whole bunch of places so far. Hasn't really panned out the way we had hoped. So we have enlisted the help of a real estate agent for the first time. So we'll see how that goes.
I'm sure you'll be all right.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Laura and I started the apartment search while I'm over here in California, and we found places we like, but the place we really like is going to be at least $2,600 a month. It's, yeah, a little expensive, so we might have to keep looking.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can move out here to California, Jet.
So what does I'm curious. What does $2,600 a month get you in California?
Not a mansion. It gets you. I believe the place we liked. It's new, so that's probably why it's a little bit more expensive. It's in a nice area, and it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. They didn't have a single, so we're getting a little bit extra room. But yeah, and I think it's like I'm trying to think offhand, 1,300, 1,400 square feet. So
wow, that's huge.
That's really big.
Yeah, I mean it's not small, but it's just kind of like, oh man, that's like so much money. So I don't know. We'll have to see. So I'll let you know in a future update. We'll let you know if that's what we settled with. I think. Yeah,
like downtown prices. If you want to be in the heart of Toronto, a 1-bedroom, 500 square feet is going to run you about $1,500 a month or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say about that.
Yeah, if you're looking for like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath in the heart of downtown Toronto, it's about 2 and change.
Yeah.
I'm not as familiar with this area out here, but I know it's right off of El Camino, which is a bigger road in is it Sunnyvale? Gosh, there's so many cities around here. But whatever road it's in, or city it's in, it's on a bigger-ish road, so that's probably why part of the reason it's up there. But I think the nice neighborhood and it being new, it looks really nice. If you drive past it, that's probably what goes with it too.
Right.
I just out of curiosity, last year when I was looking for places, I used this app called PadMapper. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one.
I've not heard that. No.
PadMapper. It's it's like an aggregate for rental listings, and it maps them all out on a Google map so that I can see that in this particular area there's 5 listings, and then I just click on it, and then it takes me to the posting on Kijiji or Craigslist or wherever it is. It's actually really neat if you're trying to look for a place based on area.
This is AdMapper, you said?
PadMapper.
PadMapper. Yeah, yes. I'll look into that. I'm gonna write that.
And it has all sorts of toggles and filters. You can filter by 2-bedroom. You can filter by if you want to see if the posting has to have pictures in it, which is very important for me because I like to see if it works. So I kept all the variables the same, and based on the amount of money that I had, I wanted to see what I could get in Manhattan. And it was basically like, here's a hole. just like the most rundown, torn up pieces of junk for what I could get a decent place here. But it's not as crazy as in England. I was watching I can't remember the show. It was a real estate show. What's that?
It's the one where they look for properties abroad.
Yeah, no, I can't remember what it is. But anyway, they were at this music studio of this famous music producer over there, apparently. And he said he had £1 million. What can that get him? In the heart of London. And apparently with £1 million, he could only buy a condo that was about 800 square feet.
Oh my god!
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That is very disheartening.
That works out to like $2 million Canadian, and that's about, I don't know, like the condo that I'm in now is maybe a 20th of that in terms of price.
Yeah. That's incredible.
10th or 20th, yeah. Just crazy. So be glad that we are not trying to move into London.
Yeah, seriously, thank you. Feel a little bit better.
Have you guys been playing anything of late?
I don't know, not really. Like being away, like I just brought my DS with me, 3DS,
all right.
And I got the terrible pleasure of playing Unchained Blades for review, and it's a downloadable game, so you get it through the eShop, and it's a dungeon crawler, so it's like E-Train Odyssey and Wizardry and the old Bard's Tale, where it's like first person, whatnot, and it's all about killing monsters and leveling up without anything else beyond that, really. And it's just very, very boring. And it's unfortunately it is a very long game. So it was.
So it's been a pleasure.
Oh my god, no! Like I really don't like airplane flights to begin with. They take forever, and now it just took even longer. So, but that one's over. So that gets Jason's seal of disapproval. I wouldn't go with that one. It's like, it makes me so mad because there's like two systems with the game that are going on, and they don't work well. So you get it's a basic RPG. You fight turn-based battles. That's fine. And then you have this sort of Pokemon aspect where you can recruit the monsters you're fighting every now and then if your charisma's high enough to join your team, and then they fight with you. So they sometimes do extra damage or block for you, which is really great. But then the way you get them is by lowering their damage or getting them damage to that's really low, and then maybe you'll get the chance of capturing them. But by the time that they get so lowered, you've probably already entered all the attacks for everyone else, so the other people just kill them. And what makes it worse is that so now not only is it hard to get these people, but there comes these roadblocks in the middle of the game where some angel will come down and says something like, "You must be worthy enough to come forward." And you play this minigame with your followers, and they just like jump on the screen and like clash with the other followers, the other monsters, and you can every now and then hit like up or down or left or right, like in DDR style games, and like in hopes of beating the other guys. But if you don't beat them, then you fail, and you have to go back and collect more monsters, and so it's completely pointless. Like
Wow.
they make you do this thing that is not doable in the first place, and you have to do it to beat the game, and it's stupid. It's a very bad choice.
Wow, sounds fun.
No, it wasn't. Thankfully, I still brought the Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy with me, and that game is amazing. So I love that game.
Good stuff.
I've been playing that. Whenever I get mad, I just play Final Fantasy. So
I still haven't played that one, Jason. Sorry.
it's so good. Do you have it or no? No, you were gonna get it on the iPhone. Yeah,
I have it on the iPhone.
It's
just sitting there.
Do you have to
The weird thing for me in iPhone games is pretty much after Street Fighter 4 Volt came out, I haven't really played anything since. I just boot up Street Fighter and it covers all of my gaming portable needs.
That's okay. And that's a good game for iPhone.
It's a great game.
So for Theater Rhythm on the iPhone, do you have to buy every song or does it come with songs?
I haven't even booted it up.
Oh, okay.
It's just sitting there on my screen waiting to be played.
I'm just curious.
I wouldn't be surprised, though, knowing Square Enix's track record on iOS.
Yeah, exactly. I almost remember reading that some songs came with it, but the other songs you had to buy, so maybe you actually get one or two, but I'm just curious what it comes with. I guess I could easily just download it myself, but no. Yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Matt, how about you?
Been playing. I tried. Actually, it's funny you were talking about God of War Ascension. Yeah, I've been playing. I tried at least. I downloaded the multiplayer sort of combat God of War. I can't remember what it's called. God of War something.
The multiplayer beta?
Yeah, multiplayer beta.
Yes.
And have you tried it, Jay?
No, I have not.
Me neither.
Yeah, so it's not the greatest thing ever. Basically, you
Okay.
it's as far as I know, I've only played one mode. I think there's only one mode. It's 4-player combat, so you against 3 other people, and the objective is to just beat each other up mercilessly until you're the only one left standing. The weird thing is that like you put your own armor on and you get your own weapons and you upgrade them and so on and so forth. But as far as I know, it's literally just a giant button mash once you start.
Right.
So there's not really any strategy in it. You just kind of run in and just hack away. And then I've noticed that it's very just sort of not, it's just weird how things work. Like you start hitting someone and then without any rhyme or reason, they can just start hitting you more and then you lose.
Yeah.
So you'd be hitting guy and they just interrupt you for no reason and start hitting you, and then you're dead. And then you resurrect and rinse and repeat for about 5 to 6 minutes, and then you shut the game off and go, why did I play this? So yeah, that was God of War multiplayer. It was very weird. I don't know. I wasn't really into it. And I've been playing, I don't know if you guys have heard of Superbrothers Sword and Sorcery for the iPhone.
Yeah, I've heard of it, yeah.
Pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. It's very, very interesting. I like it. Have you guys played it?
No, I've heard a lot about it. Isn't it Canadian?
I believe so. I don't want to say for sure. I'm not 100%, but it would be cool if it was. It's a fantastic game. No offense, Jay.
No, it's okay. Games are games.
It's very cool. The graphics are extremely 8-bit, like very dumbed down, but still very good to look at. It's kind of a weird paradox. Like you wouldn't expect it to look good, but the way it moves, everything, like the backgrounds are in 3D, everything's good. Very, very cool to look at. But the game, what makes me like it so much is it's very tongue in cheek. Like everything, all the dialogue and stuff is very, it's funny, but it's kind of campy, but it's campy in a good way. And like you'll get a quest and you'll be like, I explained so-and-so to this guy who chopped logs, but he didn't like that kind of story, so he just went back to chopping logs. Or like, weird stuff like that. Or we explained this gigantic battle, but he found it a little too scary, so he didn't want to talk about it anymore.
Right.
That kind of stuff. So, and I don't know, it's unlike any other game I think I've played, so very, very cool. And they've got this thing where you control the cycles of the moon, and you literally, so like on different days in real life, you have to go back into the game and the moon will be at different cycles, so you can do different things.
Oh, wow.
And you can cheat it by changing your actual clock on your phone. But if you do that, the developers have it in the game that you can only get 99%. The game will tell you, like, why did you cheat? You can only have 99% completion now.
No.
So it's really well done. It's really well done. If you haven't tried it, you should definitely try it.
Yeah, sounds pretty cool. I feel like I have that game on Steam. Is that in the Humble Bundle? I don't remember.
Is it for Steam? I don't think it's for Steam.
No.
Maybe it is for Steam.
Superbrothers? Is that what it is?
Superbrothers Sword and Sorcery EP.
Yeah, I feel like I got it on Steam. I don't know. I'm looking it up.
All right. While you guys are looking it up, I can probably talk about some games that I've played.
Yes, I believe it is.
All right, cool. I beat XCOM. That game is fantastic.
Nice.
I think my only... I don't know if I'd call it a gripe, but I ended up plowing through the last half of that game, maybe just because... I don't know if it's so much about the manipulating of saves, as far as like trying to keep guys alive, because at a certain point I wasn't really dying anymore. Mm-hmm. And by the last level I had 10 colonels I could have gone with, and you only need 6 people, so I had a pretty baller team at the end and just kind of demolished my way through that last level. But I think next time...
Are you playing on like a medium setting or what?
Yeah, playing on normal.
Okay.
So I think next time when I play that game, if I ever get around to it again, I'd probably play it on classic, so that's one difficulty up. And I think I would challenge myself and throw in Iron Man as well. I have a feeling that if I was not rejiggering my saves, I probably would... Things would be different. Absolutely.
What is Iron Man?
Iron Man is the game autosaves after every single move. So if something happens, you deal with it. Yep.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't feel like I'd play that way the first time.
Have you had a chance to play any XCOM, Jason? I know you got it for Christmas.
No, I've been here. Like, I'm trying to think last time we recorded. I don't remember, but pretty much right afterwards we left for Vegas. So
awesome.
no, I beat Walking Dead, and that was pretty much it.
Okay. I had started to play ZombiU, and I'd heard a lot of people say that it reminds them a lot of Dark Souls. So instead, I decided to play some Dark Souls instead, which I got. I got both of those as Christmas presents. Nice. So hopped into Dark Souls, and I'd heard a lot of things about that game being really hard.
Yeah.
And man, people were not messing around.
No. Demon Souls is hard, so.
I mean, there are things about Dark Souls that I really admire. I love the kind of openness to it of just, well, we let you out of this prison cell, now you figure out the rest of it. And I think the combat in concept is really cool, how there's timing is extremely important, and there's weight to every swing, and the enemies are really smart, and I guess I'm just not good at it. I got to a certain point, and because there's limited checkpoints, you kind of have to fight your way through all the enemies to get to that next save spot, and I just couldn't do it. I was at the point where you could go either to the upwards to the church or downwards through, I guess, the depths of whatever place it is, and I just couldn't make any forward progress. I got to a save point, and I just couldn't make it to another one after playing for a few hours. So
I know a lot of people that would argue that that's probably the toughest game they've ever played. And for what it's worth, the website for Dark Souls is preparetodie.com.
Very nice.
That's not a lie. That's true.
Oh, man. No shortage of dying. I don't know. Maybe at some point I will man up and get through it once and for all. But for the time being, I can't do it.
It's okay. I had a similar experience with Demon Souls. I just remember going across this bridge where a dragon kept breathing fire. And after a while, I was like, nope, I'm done. I just left. So, it's not just you.
Are you guys into the difficult games in general, or?
I like to torture myself sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I like a good challenge, and I think that if Dark Souls is similar to Demon Souls, I think that those games they present you a challenge that is you're always able to overcome the challenge. It doesn't ever feel cheap, so that's a good sort of challenge. And I commend that. It's not my style of game I'd like to go for, but it's nice that it's out there and it is well done.
Well, and also on the difficulty ladder, Jay, being a big fan of Mega Man, probably some of the most frustratingly difficult games around.
And in a similar sense, they're not cheap deaths. Like when you die, it's because you messed up. So it's like it's a good diversion to some of the easier sort of titles. Like I would say Borderlands 2 was pretty dang easy, just because if you weren't strong enough, you just go kill some monsters and you go back and you can do it. So yeah. What about you, Jet? Do you like torturing yourself with these games?
My tolerance for difficult games has dropped in the last few years. I think, like, as a kid, I would put up with almost anything.
Yeah.
But as I've grown up, my patience for difficult games has definitely worn thin. Especially now with, like, a backlog of games to play, and I just get stuck on one part, and I just say, you know what? With this exact time, I could just play something else and actually make forward progress in that.
Yeah,
so
totally. Yep. I was going to say that it probably dropped directly in correlation with the fact that your free time has drastically dropped as well.
Yeah. Your time is more valuable now. I completely agree.
Yeah.
So, played a couple of hours of Dark Souls, decided it wasn't my thing for the time being, and went back to ZombiU. And that game is kind of like a more accessible version of Dark Souls, while mixing in first-person survival horror, and it's actually really cool. I like it a lot. It does some really neat things with the Wii U gamepad that really show off what that thing can do, as far as adding new, unique gameplay experiences to it. One of the cool things about it is the map. I know the map by itself just sounds like a stupid thing, like why would you just put the map there? But it's tied into the story where you get this thing, you get this device which acts as your map, which you have to look down at, and the map data is being populated by cameras that are all strewn about the world, but there's a whole but a lot of them are disconnected, so you actually have to find the box and then scan them in order to activate them, therefore you get the info on your map.
Oh, interesting.
Fair enough.
Early on in the game, that device can tell you where zombies are, but you have to manually ping the radar in order to do it. So you're actually like constantly looking down, seeing where the dots are, but then you're not looking at the screen, and something could jump at you while you're not looking.
That's actually kind of cool.
And
The craziest thing is probably the instances where you have to grab something from your backpack in an urgent situation. So, for instance, I'm fighting a couple of zombies, and I realize I'm low on health, and I do not have a health kit handy on me. What you have to do is look away from the screen, you have to swipe down to grab your backpack, and then pick up the item and then drag it into one of your empty inventory slots at the top, then swipe back up. Now look back up at the screen and do whatever it is you're doing. But if you try to do that while there are enemies attacking you, you'll probably die.
Yeah.
So you have to be either like very skilled in how you manage between the two things, or kind of wait for the right time to manage that type of stuff.
That's pretty cool. I like that aspect.
Yeah, so, and other things, it does have the kind of Dark Souls-esque save system where they're really far apart, and you either make it to the next save point or you die and you start all the way back at the beginning. But at least in that scenario, when you die, you lose everything, but you're... Hold on, maybe I should take a couple steps back. Because your character, you start out as a character, and when they die, you come back to life as a different character who just so happens to have worked themselves into the same situation that you were just in. And at that point, you can then find your old self, who's still holding all your stuff, kill them, and then take that person's stuff as your new stuff.
Oh, are they a zombie then?
Yes.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Cool.
That's kind of neat.
So yeah, it does a lot of cool things and comes together in a way where it just feels very unique. And I think it is definitely, if you have a Wii U, it's definitely worth checking out. I don't think it is for everyone. In particular, I think some people will not like how the combat is handled. In particular, the cricket bat, because it is kind of like Dark Souls where the swings are really slow. So you really have to time out all of your button presses, or else a zombie will grab you and you'll die instantly.
So,
Yeah.
now, say I were a big fan of like Resident Evil games. Would I like this game?
I think you would.
Yeah?
Yes.
No, okay, but more specific. What if I like, Resident Evil 2 more than Resident Evil 5?
If you
4.
like Resident Evil 5, you'll probably hate this. If you like Resident Evil 2, this will probably be more up your alley.
It sounds like the game will be more up my alley, so that's good.
But if you like Resident Evil 5, you're crazy anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I said 5, and I was like, I probably should have said 4. But
You meant 4.
Yeah.
How do you classify people who like Resident Evil 6?
I've not played 6, but I've heard bad things.
Yeah, I haven't played
So
it.
I don't know.
I couldn't give you an educated answer on that.
I haven't played a Resident Evil game since 4.
Well, you ended at a good one, so...
Yeah, based on what I've heard, I stopped at the right place.
The best place to stop.
Yeah. So whenever I go to like new places, I always try to go look for random game stores and stuff. We went to this one, and the guy was selling. He had the GameCube controller, the Resident Evil one, the chainsaw.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I didn't buy it, but it was just cool to see it. Like someone actually had one, and it was open, and it was kind of cool. I don't know. Sorry, it was just an aside.
yeah. 2 other games I've been playing. I picked up Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed on the Wii U.
Cool.
Nice.
I based on JJ saying the game was awesome, and I gave that game to my brother for Christmas, and he thought it was awesome, and I tried the demo on 360 and thought it was cool. So I went and picked it up on the Wii U, and yeah, that game totally rocks. That might be the best modern kart racing game out there.
Wow.
Really? High praise.
Absolutely. It is. Have you guys had a chance to play it or try the demo?
No.
No, it looks really
But
fun,
now I might.
Yeah.
So the cool thing about it is that there are different vehicles in the game. So there's the kart, there is this like speedboat and an airplane. And based on where you are in the course of a race, you might be any of those 3 vehicles. So for instance, in lap 1, you might be driving as a car all the way around. Then in lap 2, the world falls apart and all of a sudden you've got to fly through this area. And in lap 3, you switch back to a car, and then halfway through that, you're on a boat. And just the dynamics of switching between vehicles and the world changing around you makes all of the races really interesting and exciting.
That's pretty cool.
So the core of it is actually really great. And then the single-player content is nuts. The main, I guess, main campaign, it has like different overworlds, and then each race, it's kind of a map, kind of like Super Mario Bros. 3, where here's the race, and they have different types of races. So there are boost challenges where there'll be 2 gates. Oh wait, boosts where you've got to hit the boost in order to stop the timer, and if the timer ticks to 0, you lose, so you've got to keep hitting the boost in order to stall for time. There's one where you have to be drifting down a particular strip of the road in order to stall the time. There's also one where you're driving alongside a giant tank, and you have to blow up the tank by shooting at it before it blows you up. So it just has all of these different race types, so that when you're playing it by yourself, there's a lot of things to do.
That's good. That's
lots of different characters
really
to unlock. I unlocked Danica Patrick, and I was using her for a while.
She's in that game?
Yes, she is in the game.
Wow. Why?
Why not?
Okay, whatever. Did you get Wreck-It Ralph? Isn't he in there?
Yes, he's in there.
Yeah.
If you get the Wii U version, you get Metal Sonic unlocked from the start, and he's fully tricked out.
Ooh.
Nice.
One of the benefits to the Wii U version.
Very cool. Is he unlockable in other versions?
Yes.
Okay.
One of the other benefits, you can play the entire game just on the touchpad, and that's really, really handy to have. Not on the touchpad, but you can watch it on the screen, and I can be sitting in front of the TV and just playing the full game on the controller itself. It's really awesome when games support that.
Yeah, seriously.
Cool.
If you also have 4 Wii remotes, you can play 5-player. I haven't had a chance to try that, but I guess that is a benefit if you have all that hardware.
Just the 5th player uses the gamepad instead of a controller?
Yes, and they get their own screen.
Right.
So in any case, regardless of platform you play it on, Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed is probably a safe bet.
Cool.
And it's only $40, so definitely worth checking out.
I am
Can't go wrong
intrigued.
there.
There is a regular Wii version, right?
Yes, there is.
Yeah. It's cool.
One last thing I wanted to hit really quick. I played the Fire Emblem Awakening demo, which just came out.
Nice.
That was pretty sweet.
Yes. Are you guys fans of the series?
Yes.
Yes,
Very
I've been
good.
meaning to try it.
Oh, you haven't tried it yet, Matt?
Nope.
Oh, dude, you are missing out. They're all
I know.
great. Every single one that has come out to the States is great, except for the remake of the original one, which is mediocre.
Dragon something or whatever. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, that one's not that great, but every other one is awesome and still holds up today.
Excellent.
You can go back and play the GBA ones, and they're still fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So, some of the things that stood out to me on the 3DS one, at least as far as the demo, you actually get your own avatar and play as your own... Well, you are a character in the game. I can name it Jet and make it look kind of like me, and now I am a character in the game. And I guess that your avatar is one of the important characters, that if they die, it's game over. But it's cool that you have your own person in there.
Yeah, instead of playing character.
Yeah. And I guess the big gameplay change that they're advertising now is that if you have 2 units that are beside each other, they will give each other combat bonuses. So, for instance, I stand beside one of my guys, and I engage in battle with another person, I might get a plus 10 attack, or the other person might attack at the same time as me, so it adds a little more variety to the fights.
Is it still the grid-based strategy?
Yes.
Okay, good.
As someone who has played a ton of these games, I've kind of gotten tired of the battle animations, so I usually just turn those all off, and
likewise.
Just let me see the numbers.
Yeah,
exactly.
You're the most basics. Yeah.
The 3DS version actually they have speed in mind. So even when you're watching the animations, by default, they're very quick attacks. You can hold down the button to do like a fast forward as well. So you can still watch the action as it unfolds, even though without having to, I don't know,
wait around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really quick, and I really appreciated that. So I might consider leaving the animations on this time around, once that game comes out in early Feb.
Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
On a related note, I joined PlayStation Plus, which is fantastic.
Enjoy your free Darksiders.
Yes. Well, also, one of the PlayStation Plus extends to the PS Vita as well. And one of the games that was free this month was Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions.
So good. I have that game. It's good.
Yeah. So I downloaded that. I've been playing that a bit.
Did you beat it yet or no?
It's pretty sweet. No, not even close.
Okay, I'm going to let you know. You're going to get to a point where the game is just going to kick your ass. And like if you're not good enough, I'm sorry. Like it's so hard. So like
I just come on the next podcast and I'm all defeated.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I just gave up.
No, I'm just going to let you know, like, I would highly recommend keeping multiple save files.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember playing on the original PlayStation and just getting furious. Like, it couldn't beat this level. So, anyways.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Just a heads up, guys. As we're recording this, the Lance Armstrong interview is on Oprah right now.
Give us an update. What's going on? Do we know?
Oh, I'm not even in the same room.
Okay.
I'm guessing he confessed. No, he doesn't confess. He says that it was all a big mistake. And
really,
the guy cheating was Lance Bass. Yes, that's it.
No. Amazing. Breaking news.
Shockers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We had it all wrong this whole time. NSYNC was in sync with drugs. I don't know.
You guys have any thoughts on that whole Lance Armstrong thing?
I mean, it sounds kind of bad. Like I would imagine that he did something, inappropriate. But I think he was always billing it as like, he was within the bounds of the rules. Like he didn't break them. He just sort of stretched them. But I still think it's kind of bad, and I think he did wrong. So I don't know.
I would agree with that. The only thing that sort of I don't agree with his actions, but I would say that he raised a hell of a lot of money for cancer, so
True.
I can forgive him.
Yeah.
I mean, they stripped his medals, so he kind of got the punishment I guess he deserved for cheating. But as for what he's done for cancer research, you can't really fault the guy.
Yeah, I totally agree with that too. It's a good way to put it. Jet, you can't be bipartisan. You have to pick. Exactly.
I don't know.
Okay,
I just want the
moving
drama. I just like the drama. Speaking of drama and sports, how about that Manti Te'o guy?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
What's
I
going
heard
on
about
with
that.
that?
What a freak show this guy is, man.
You're gonna have to enlighten me because I've only read headlines because I just saw it yesterday on my phone. So his girlfriend was not real.
Yeah, so he basically made up. Well, I mean, he's saying now that it was an online relationship that he was unaware was fake.
Okay.
But according to, this story that's unfolded so far is that he was, he plays for Notre Dame.
Right.
And basically, all these news outlets were saying that, this was the story of the year because he was a Heisman Trophy candidate and all this stuff. And his grandmother passed away. And then apparently this girlfriend that he had leukemia. Well, she was hit by a car first.
Oh, gosh.
Then she had leukemia. And he was saying prayers for her and stuff, and news outlets were saying that she was texting him saying, you have to perform well for me in these games, and keep my spirit alive, and all this and that. And then it turns out that she never existed.
Oh my gosh!
So it's been interesting. And now his, I guess, PR team is saying that he was the victim of an unfortunate internet prank of some sort.
So, but did Teo have a press conference, like himself personally?
He did.
Yeah. What did he say?
But they asked him about his, and he talks about his girlfriend in the press conference. And they have one of the sites that's out there. A lot of them have conflicting reports on what's going on, like different days and dates and who dies first and who doesn't die and this and that.
Like a good TV
show.
But
there's like archive interviews with him talking about his girlfriend and how much he loves her and how he's really suffering with the fact that she has cancer and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, it turns out that she doesn't exist. So It's a very interesting story.
Gosh,
a lot of people are saying he did it just for the publicity.
Yeah,
which is pretty cheap.
I don't know what I believe like that, or if I really believe him being duped. I don't know. Crazy.
But I mean, I guess what makes it even more sort of headline worthy is the fact that I think he either won the Heisman or he was
a finalist.
Close to winning the Heisman.
Johnny Manziel.
But now he's going to be in the NFL draft. So
yeah.
Be interesting.
Notre Dame and Manti Te'o, they're probably about 45 minutes to an hour from my house, so it's really close. Yeah, so we hear all the Notre Dame news. Well, I guess right now I'm not there right now, but I'm sure there's crazy stories going on over there. But yeah, that's crazy. Thanks for the update.
In Canada, we don't really get any Notre Dame news. It was that and Rudy. Is he still playing on the team?
Rudy? No. No, he...
Did they at least have a statue or something?
Rudy went and destroyed the One Ring, and he moved on. So.
Oh, right.
Yes.
Yes, good call. Yeah.
Yeah, you got that right, Jet.
Lord of the Rings reference there, Jet?
Oh, see, you totally lost me. I've watched the first movie and the last half hour of the third movie, and
So you know that.
So you know.
Oh wait, no, the last half hour. No, they were still wrapping things up.
There's 5 endings to that movie.
Yeah,
So
and it starts about 2 hours in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but beyond the point, Jet, you haven't seen all of the Lord of the Rings movies?
no, I'm not a fantasy dude at all.
Jet, come on.
No, not my
Yeah.
thing.
It's
You
okay.
really got to get on
I guess
that.
it's okay. Okay,
I
so
like Skyrim, but beyond that,
we always kind of poke fun at my brother's wife because she hasn't seen any of the Lord of the Rings, any of the Star Warses, or any of the Indiana Joneses. So have you seen any of those?
of course.
Okay, good.
So what's it called? Steph, up until we moved in together, had not seen any of the Star Wars movies outside of the first one. But we
Yeah.
ended up buying Star Wars on Blu-ray, and we saw all of those.
Excellent.
So she is fixed now.
Nice.
Did you watch?
I'm kidding.
Did you watch the 4, 5, and 6 first, or did you do it in chronological?
Oh, we've only
order?
done. I only bought the set that had 4, 5, and 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He said he bought Star Wars. He didn't buy the other.
Oh, okay, yeah. There you go.
But yeah, all the other movies that you have mentioned, I've seen.
Good, excellent. It's a criteria, I guess, in my book. You got to see at least.
Are
some
we
of these.
like in like nerd hipster mode right now? Like you need to have seen all of these things in order to qualify.
We make fun of her because she hasn't seen them. It's just they're like classics, you know. And if you, I don't know, I feel like you need to see at least one of them to understand something sci-fi-ish. And
Yes,
if not, it's
I
kind of
would
like,
agree.
well, I don't like sci-fi. Well, have you seen a good movie? These are the good ones. But yeah,
Also-
definitely hipsterish though. I'll give you that.
I also haven't seen Titanic.
Oh,
That's okay.
I've only seen that once. Yeah, it was all right.
It was too long,
The boat sinks. That's all I need to know. Spoilers.
Yeah.
and the door was big enough for both of them.
Exactly.
But we won't get into that.
Yes. Have you seen those YouTube videos of the movie in 5 seconds? And it's really
Yes.
cool. Did you see the Titanic one?
No.
No.
It's funny because it's like Titanic in 5 seconds is a little screen, and then some guy is like, "This ship can't sink," and then like it cuts to the iceberg sinking the ship, and then it like plays the credits with Celine Dion singing. Like it's like the funniest 5-second video, but yeah, and it is the
That's
entire
awesome.
movie. You cut out all the garbage, and there you go. So
Yeah.
All right, you guys, cool. Like we're running. I don't know. We're a little longer than usual up until as far as getting to the Bosscast topic of the week.
Mhm.
And I know Jason, you've got to leave soon-ish for karaoke.
hour-ish, yeah.
Okay.
Going singing, yeah. But fortunately, I've actually already covered some of my stuff for the topic too.
All right. All right. Well, let's keep it rolling. Bosscast topic of the week is 2013, yo.
Woo!
2013.
So,
What's up?
let's talk about the year that is going to be. I foresee this being a very big one,
Yes, I
particularly
would agree.
because we've got presumably at least 2 new consoles on the way.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I'd say so.
What was the hesitation there, man?
I don't know. I mean, I would think that it would probably happen, but I'm just for some reason still a bit hesitant to say.
Who do you think is the one, or do you think both of them might not be this year?
Just for clarification, you're talking about Xbox and PlayStation.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Microsoft and Sony, yeah. I don't know. I have to reserve judgment on this.
Okay.
We'll see. I would say if one is going to come out and one isn't, I would probably say that the PlayStation will be out. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't want to say.
I want to hear your rationale. What is making you think that?
I don't know. I just... Well, mainly because I don't want to buy a new damn system.
Yeah. You went out and said,
But,
speak for all.
I don't know. I think that we're getting to a point where the PlayStation and the Xbox consoles are pretty much putting out, I think, the best quality that they can.
Mhm.
But I think that they could probably last the end of this year and then maybe put something out beginning of 2014. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Yep, I feel you on the whole not wanting to buy consoles. Late last year, I had to make a decision: Wii U or snow tires on my car. And I went with the Wii U. Yeah.
And you skidded all the way to the store to buy the Wii U.
Oh man, that snowstorm that happened around Christmas time, and my car was just like fishtailing everywhere. I was like, damn it, I should have bought those snow tires.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about the new consoles is that, like, how much better can they get?
Yeah, really.
And is it really going to be worth spending another $500 to $700 or whatever $100 that it's going to be? I don't know.
I don't think they come out at $500 to $700. Well, I think the magic price that they should be aiming for is $399 US.
I agree with you. I think that's the perfect price. But
now, would you agree with me in saying that these systems are going to be more predominantly focused on interacting, like social gaming and stuff like that? So the emphasis will be on the games, but it'll also be on the sort of connectivity to everything social in your life as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think in particular, I would not be surprised to see the Xbox One not even really be a game system so much as an overall entertainment hub that also plays games.
Yes.
No, I completely agree with you. I think that's the only way to go, because I think going off what Matt said, they're not going to get much better. Like, the graphics aren't going to get that much better, so they need to offer something new. And I think making that one box, that one system that can do, computer stuff and games and DVDs and Blu-rays all in one, and even more stuff, that's the way to go.
Yeah. And that being said, I mean, in 8 years from now, when they're going to release the, PS5, how much different are we actually going to get, right? So maybe this will be the era of the console that they make that can be infinitely expanded in, I guess, some way, shape, or form with peripherals or whatnot.
Sony does have that Gaikai in their back pocket.
Right. I think that's going to be very important for Sony.
If the internet gets to a point where it is fast enough to be streaming games from a server, then maybe we don't have to have hardware every 5 years, where you just buy one box and all of the processing is happening on Sony's end.
That would be very interesting. That's an interesting proposition.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the bandwidth required for that, though?
That's a good thing. You got to consider that, too. I mean, that's pretty big.
And then are we paying a premium for that service as well, right? Mm-hmm. So we wouldn't be paying the $500 or whatever it is, for the hardware, but guaranteed we'll be paying a premium for the bandwidth.
I didn't think about it that way. I would think that if it's something like that, maybe you would see Sony say, all right, PlayStation Plus is now required to pay, and then you pay that way, and then you can stream some games, but then the rest, some other ones you have to pay a fee for or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how PlayStation Plus works into it.
Yeah, I think in terms of just looking at games, I think for the new PlayStation and the new Xbox, I feel like I'm leaning more towards PlayStation because of the Gaikai support. But I don't know. Like, I don't know. If my mind, if I'm going to assume everything in my mind is correct, then I'm thinking Microsoft is making a new box that's going to be the home entertainment box, and it's going to do everything for the home: family, games, solo experience, movies, everything. And I feel like Sony is trying to do something similar, but I feel like they're still focusing on giving people video games. And I mean, I think, if my mind is correct, I feel like Sony's going to be the one that's going to put out bigger and better stuff. So I would feel like they're going to go the way that I want to go.
Yeah, I would agree with that. They're going to focus more on the gaming, whereas Xbox is going to focus more on the put this in your living room and enjoy all kinds of content.
Right. Absolutely agree.
And when you look at games coming out like the Beyond Two Souls and you know all the PlayStation exclusives, it's really easy to sort of stay with them.
That's true. I think you had mentioned earlier, Matt, too, about maybe the consoles coming out maybe at different times, like if one comes out before the other. But I think they have to come out at the exact same time, just because I think that Sony and Microsoft are focusing on the same thing in the same market that's not quite there yet. I think if they want to have a good threshold, they need to get there together. And if Sony gets their first say, then I think Microsoft they need to produce something amazing or they're completely out of the water. Kind of like Blu-rays and HD DVDs. So, yeah.
I mean, like, most of our talk is speculation at this point, and both companies have been pretty mum on the details, but Yeah, I guess it'll be really interesting to see where things go. I know Microsoft already has a countdown timer on one of their sites, counting down to E3, where they're going to unveil the next big thing. We all know what that is.
What if we're all wrong? What if it's a handheld?
The X-Boy, finally?
Yeah, there you go. Ooh, X-Boy. That sounds good.
Yeah. Their answer to the Vita.
Yeah, the answer to the question nobody asked. Yeah.
In 2013, do you guys think the Ouya is actually going to be a thing?
Yeah, I think so. I think I remember writing about it a while ago and looking at a game running on the system, and I mean, unless that it's a really good doctoring, like that looks like a real thing, and I think it's going to be. I think it's supposed to come out this year, and I think it'll happen. I think it'll be pretty cool, nice diversion for gamers, I guess.
And the price point's good.
Yeah,
so.
Can't go wrong with that. What do you think, Jed? Is it real or is it fake to you?
I don't know. I don't know. Based on the CES coverage I saw, there were no shortage of Android-based gaming devices.
Oh my god, ever.
On the way.
Yes.
I'm curious to see where all of that goes, if anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the Ouya maybe opened the door for that, but yeah, there's just seemingly an endless stream of those coming.
Yeah, and the only thing I can think about the Ouya that is really interesting, and it's curious for me, because I never thought of it this way, but my nephew is 10, and he really loves playing on my parents' iPad when I'm over there, and he likes those games, but his parents aren't going to buy him an iPad, because he really doesn't need an iPad, and it is expensive, so, if he wants those games, $100 price point for a console is a lot nicer than $500 for an iPad. And
that's true.
I don't know, like if that's going to be, warrant enough people to buy it and to make a profit for this company. But I guess it's a corner of a market that I never really thought of. People that can't really afford or don't have access to, a nice computer or a nice iPad, luxury, I guess. They can use this as an option. I personally think it's kind of silly, but, that might be for them.
Do you guys have any predictions on the next Xbox, next PlayStation?
I don't think they're going to be called 720 and maybe not even PS4. I don't know.
Okay.
They will both come in black colors.
Yes.
Black.
They're also going to have faux wood panels.
I think both of them will have more than one SKU.
Yes, they will both be Blu-ray. I can guarantee that.
That's true. Yeah. I wonder what do you think the two SKUs would be then, Jet?
I mean, besides one with a lot of hard drive space and one with slightly less, but probably still a lot of hard drive space. I don't know.
Yeah, that's one.
Does the PlayStation Move end up in there?
Ooh.
Could you see a scenario where Sony says, "Here's the next PlayStation"? Oh yeah, and the PlayStation Vita is now the controller for it.
Ah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
What about on the same boat then? You think Microsoft's going to give you Kinect?
Oh, guaranteed.
You think so?
I think that Kinect has to be packed in with every single version of the Xbox if they want to keep that business going.
I think they should. I think it's smart for just what you said. If they want to keep it going, they need to get it out there.
Yeah, and I think every SKU of the Xbox is going to have the Kinect, even the super cheap one.
Yeah. Would you say that they're going to be running on SSDs? Like solid-state drives? As opposed to your regular hard drive that they've integrated?
I mean, you need a big card, though, wouldn't you? Or a lot of cards?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. All speculation.
Yeah,
pretty much. We're forgetting Nintendo. Is Nintendo going to do anything different?
No.
I mean, they have the Wii U, and
they're gonna launch a 3DS XXXXL.
Yeah. Sounds hot.
It does.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's going to be the size of your television in your living room.
They're actually going to
They're going to
redub the 3DS the Virtual Boy 2.
Wow. Yeah. Give you a headset to wear it
exactly. on. I'd buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's interesting. What does Nintendo look like in 2013? Their console's out now.
Man,
their console stays the same.
It's roughly on par with the Xbox and the PlayStation, but what happens when the new systems come out and they're way more powerful and presumably can do way more stuff?
I don't think Nintendo cares. So, and I don't think Nintendo needs to care. Like, Nintendo in 2013, in my book, they need to get games. And it's not saying they don't have good games, but they just need to focus on making good games now. And
they need to definitely flush out the library for the 3DS.
Yeah, 3DS, I don't know, like 3DS is okay. I think they can keep going, but right now I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo focuses more on Wii U and just gets the Wii U out there.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think they have nothing else to impress. Like, I think people have accepted the Wii U as being cool. It's going to be here for a while, so now we need to show off why it's cool. I think that's Nintendo's goal. Or it should be, in my book.
I, having had the system for the last few months, I actually really like it. It's got its weird quirks, and I know that it's never going to be an equivalent system in terms of functionality to the Xbox or the PlayStation, but then the Nintendo does things that the other ones don't. And as long as that system keeps doing the Nintendo thing and provides enough games that I want to play, I'll be there. I guess the challenge is the game part. So, since launch, the lineup has been pretty dry. The eShop has been also pretty empty. And recently Nintendo announced a whole bunch of their key titles got pushed back. At least out of the first quarter. So, I mean, it's kind of looking thin, particularly on the Wii U side. I think there's just Rayman Legends, and that's it.
Yeah, it's all
as far as noteworthy games. And that game, I think, is going to be fantastic, but that's one Wii U game I will buy, presumably, in the next 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting thought. I'm thinking, do you think in Nintendo's mind that they look at their market as someone that owns both a Wii U and a 3DS? Because,
I think they would like it to be that, but my gut says they keep them separate.
Yeah, I would say they keep them separate too, but I'm thinking, like if you're a Nintendo fan, like you have plenty to look forward to because beyond the Wii U and Rayman, I mean, we just talked about Fire Emblem. That looks great.
That is my most anticipated game of Q1, at least based on this release list that I'm looking at.
The Game Informer? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. But, of the games I'm looking at here, that's the one I want the most.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just wondering if, I don't know, Nintendo's thinking like, oh, well, you can hold over on these 3DS games, and I don't know. Sorry. Thinking out loud.
No worries. So, I mean, a lot of my excitement for 2013 pretty much comes from the new systems, but that's all up in the air. Who knows what that's going to end up being. But there's still a lot of games coming up until then. As Jason was referencing, there's this Game Informer list that we have of all the games with firm release dates on here, and some of the other ones I'm interested in include, Rayman, Fire Emblem. Any of you guys interested in the new Devil May Cry, which just came out and apparently is awesome, even though there's millions of fanboys apparently that all hate it because Dante looks different?
No, that looks great. Another solid action game. Can't go wrong with that.
Ni no Kuni is out tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
I haven't played the demo. I downloaded it a while back and just haven't got around to it. Have you tried the demo, Matt?
No, I haven't, but that is my next download, definitely. I'm really excited about it, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that looks solid.
Anything on this list stand out to you guys as something you'd want to play?
Oh, man. April, it says on here, April 16th, Shin Megami Tensei Devil Survivor. I'm buying that. 3DS. That's going to be a good one.
I'm looking on here, Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. And Castlevania Lords of Shadow. I'm actually going to 2 pre-release parties for those.
Oh,
Nice.
awesome.
So, yeah, I'm going to get to play those this month, actually. This month and then the very beginning of next month. So this month, I think it's the 24th-ish, I'm going to Metal Gear. And then on the 31st or the 1st, I'm going to Castlevania. So I'll let you guys know what those are.
Yeah.
Awesome.
At the very end of this list, The Last of Us, that looks like a pretty solid release.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Could be Sony's big answer. Yeah.
On the PS3 side, I am most excited for The Last of Us and Beyond Two Souls.
Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good one.
BioShock Infinite, I'm a big fan of.
Right.
Should be good. Gears of War. I played the first 2 Gears of War. I never played the third one. People said that I should have definitely played that. Never got it right.
Third one is great.
Yeah.
Third one is, I think, my favorite of those 3, as far as single player goes. Multiplayer was pretty solid as well. Still a good community of people playing that, I think. But yeah, the action in Gears of War. No, I don't want to go down that route. Let's talk about
There's
Gears of War Judgment.
Oh.
I'm not excited for that game. I really like the Gears of War series, and I played all those 3, and then I don't know. I don't need a 4th one. I don't think, at least not this gen.
Without any spoilers, is it like a definitive ending at the end of 3, or does it leave it open for this new game? Like, is it a continuation of the story, or is it a brand new story?
Gears of War Judgment is a prequel.
Oh, it's a prequel.
Yes.
Okay.
Gears of War 3 ends pretty definitively.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
It's a good
ending. I mean, it's... I don't know if I'm up for more Gears of War, and it also stars Baird, and I really do not care about him.
Yeah, he's really hit or miss.
Yeah. I like Cole a lot, but yeah, I don't want to be Baird. He's so lame.
He is kind of lame. He's like lame. He's like the most realistic looking guy there because he doesn't have crazy muscles all over the place. I don't want to play as him. Oh. What about StarCraft 2? You guys fans?
No, not really.
Part of the Swarm? Yeah. I'm sure that's going to be a big game. That'll be probably one of the biggest games in March. That's when it releases.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, it's releasing along Bioshock Infinite, right? Well, it's before, but...
It's before, yeah. But I think, I don't know, just... That game has just crazy online presence. It's all over. I can't imagine that game not going by and selling millions. So,
is anybody excited for the SimCity remake?
I'm kind of excited for SimCity. It sounds. Looks.
I don't know
fun.
if I'm excited is the word, but I'm intrigued. Like, I want to see it. I want to play it,
right,
and see what it's like. I enjoyed the original SimCity and some of its predecessors or some of its sequels.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see what the revamped graphics and all that stuff do.
Yeah.
Apparently, you can zoom right in and see the actual city living underneath you. So
yeah, pretty cool. I think I've been so far away from SimCity that I'm ready to go back. So
yeah,
it could be fun. I think intrigued is actually probably a better way to put it. What about right above that says Tomb Raider? Are you looking forward to Tomb Raider or no?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing it.
Yeah, I never got into Tomb Raider, so I'm not sure if it's my cup of tea.
Well, it's a complete reboot, right, of the whole series.
It's supposed to be.
It's done with this new... The graphics look good. The storyline looks like it could be good.
Yeah.
It looks very cinematic, so like along the lines of like an Uncharted or something like that.
Yeah,
so
that's the draws comparisons.
It looks pretty good.
I was excited for it and then saw it was still very much like Tomb Raider where there's still a lot of puzzle solving and went, nope, I'm too dumb for this, so I'm out.
Is anybody else extremely devastated that South Park The Stick of Truth is now delayed?
That looks like
I'm very curious about that game because everything I've seen, I cannot tell the difference, but I don't know what is gameplay and what is just
TV
promotional.
Show, like
what is cutscene and what is actual gameplay because it all looks the same.
Yeah. Then apparently it's just ridiculous, just like the show.
Good.
So
yeah,
totally written back and front by Trey Parker and Matt Stone. So it should be interesting if you're a South Park fan.
Yeah, I mean, there's no shortage of bad South Park games, but if there was anyone that could be good, it would be this one. How does that game get affected though by THQ and all of that nonsense?
They said that the bankruptcy wasn't affecting any release dates or like schedules for games. So I think I remember reading an article and it was something along. They said those lines, which was implying that there's someone. They were implying that there may be someone ready to buy them out. So maybe I don't know, but they said rest assured that's all coming. So
I don't know about that because the latest news because they had that Clear Lake Capital group that wanted to buy them outright. Mm-hmm. And then their investors and a whole bunch of creditors said, no, we would probably make more money if we just sold everything piecemeal. Mm-hmm. So I guess the week people are listening to this, they're auctioning off everything of THQ.
Okay.
Wow.
So, Saints Row, by the time people hear this, most likely will probably not be at THQ anymore.
Mm.
I'm looking more along the lines of like an NWO wrestling game for Nintendo 64.
That is the way. When I think of THQ, I do think of those games.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And is there any way that we could, I don't know, pool in together some money and get Aki to, I don't know. I want another one of those N64 wrestling games. That's what I'm trying to get at. Is there any way we can get some of those in the THQ auction? Maybe get the rights for it and re-release it on a virtual console or something?
Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing.
We just just pool our money together and buy THQ. And then
Look, here's
make our
$50.
own NWO.
We'll take everything.
Yeah.
This money I was going to use for rent in California, I will just buy THQ instead.
Instead, I'll buy that.
Yeah.
I think if that was actually a choice, I would probably do that. Place to live or own THQ. Yeah, whatever. So, why do you have Ellen Page on here?
Beyond Two Souls. He's referring to the outline.
Yeah.
And we were talking about Beyond Two Souls, and I was just like, oh yeah, the Ellen Page game. Hence why I wrote Ellen Page on the outline.
Gotcha.
Who's also awesome. I'm a big fan of Ellen Page.
Yeah.
So
I liked her in Juno.
she was great in Juno.
Also Inception.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's a good
very
one.
in Inception as well.
What about gaming resolutions? That's the only thing we haven't touched on.
Oh man. Try and work through my backlog.
Yeah, likewise.
Though I have not been great at... I think I've done a decent job of playing things through, but then I keep buying games, and that's the problem. I picked up some games recently, actually. I bought Ninja Blade. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that one.
Yeah, the Xbox one?
Yep, picked that up for $5.
Nice.
Nice.
Is it worth $5?
I have not opened it yet.
Okay.
Like a whole bunch of the games in my backlog that are just sitting on my shelf. I think there's a few dozen games that are I still gotta play. So, I would like to make a good dent in those at some point. I mean, as far as 2013 goes, the list is a little thin for me, so I probably will be able to get through a lot of that.
Yeah, there's not any huge ones that I could see taking more than like a week. So, I don't know. Gaming resolutions. Play more games, I guess. That's always my resolution.
Yeah. Play more games, buy less games.
I don't know if I can go that far. One of mine could be to actually like complete games. I feel like I get like so far and I'm like, I'm done. But I need to complete more.
And no, I generally, like, once I like a game, I will commit to beating it unless it does something heinous and I just decide that, nope, you have offended me, game, I am not playing you anymore.
Demon Souls, yeah. Dark Souls, yeah.
Yeah, otherwise, I try and stick to it. I usually only play one game at a time, and I'll play it to its conclusion, wherever that may be, and move on to the next one. I try not to play multiple games, because then you just never get anywhere in anything.
Yeah.
Or at least I don't.
No, I don't either. It's bad.
Yep, my resolution is definitely to play more. I've been seriously slacking. So it's just, work and everything gets pretty hectic. So, but I definitely want to. Yeah, I got some games I got here that I still want to play through, and still haven't beat Assassin's Creed. Want to beat that, and close though. But haven't beat it.
What else is on your backlog, man?
I bought the last podcast we were talking. I bought the Humble Bundle 7, so a bunch of indie games on that. I'm looking forward to playing some of those. I've also, I don't know if you guys have seen Indie Game the movie.
Yes, I've seen that.
You have seen it. Yeah, I haven't seen that either. So I want to watch that too. That actually came in the bundle. Yeah, I want to get through. I'm still playing Final Fantasy Tactics. I started. What was that? Gravity Rush was also a free game, but then it came with the PlayStation Plus membership, so I got that as well. I have Halo 4, which I haven't started. I got that for Christmas, so at some point I want to start that. Not the multiplayer, just the storyline. And, so just a few things. Yeah, so we'll see.
Any last words on 2013 before we close this out?
Here's hoping it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, pretty much calling it's going to be one of the best gaming years.
One of the best
in a while.
Mm-hmm. I think it'll be good. It's going to be a big year because the systems are out, but I also have concerns that it's going to be launch lineups, which are generally not that great. But I guess to counterpoint that, we're at the mature end of the other life cycle, which some of these games look fantastic. I'm curious to see what happens to those systems in the back half of the year, though. If after June they completely fall off because everyone's ramping up for the new stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is the point too, right? Like when I said about I wasn't entirely sure if they were going to launch. Like you've got games like Grand Theft Auto 5 coming out for PS3 and
totally
for Xbox 360.
Yeah.
And you're looking at like a May to June launch, right? So unless the new systems are coming out, Q4 or like the end of Q3, it's difficult to launch a game like Grand Theft Auto 5 and then say, hey, forget about that. Look what we have. We got new systems, so I don't know. Be interesting.
All right. Let's close this thing out.
Yep.
Yeah, so Jason, while you're in Cali, have you had a chance to do any writing?
Yeah, I have actually. I think since the last episode, I actually had my first article go up at SplitKick. So I did Parappa the Rapper Vault Play. It's up there now. And it's fun. You should go read it. And I will be getting up there by the time this comes out. My review for Unchained Blades was written, and that's up. So you can see that.
Your favorite game of all time.
Right now, it is. It's on the worst list of 2013, which is only populated by 2 games. So, but yeah, it's there. So that'll be up there. And when I had a lot of downtime, kind of working here and there, and I have a side project blog that I've called Slick Anthology, and it's a listing of all of my games in my collection, a little bit of information about them, kind of in a nice group thing to look at. And it's a mega work in progress, but I finally deemed it worthy enough to go live. And so that's up. You can look at it that way. It'll be linked from my blog. And yeah, just kind of a neat way for me to personalize my catalog, and you can view it too. And you have learn some information about games that way. So that's up there too. New feature.
Awesome. Matt, what's shaking?
Well, I'm going to those 2 pre-release parties or launch parties or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I will have reviews and sort of first impressions of those coming up soon.
I'm very curious about Lords of Shadow 2.
Me too.
I played a few hours of the first Lords of Shadow and went, man, this is really awesome. And then I got to a point where the game frustrated me, and I said, you know what? I'm out. I'm going to go play something else. It was Chapter 3 or Chapter 4 where you were fighting all of those wolves, and you had to find the 3 keys, and I ended up going in a complete circle, and I was missing one, and then all the enemies had respawned. So it took me an hour to make like 1 circle through that first time because it was pretty tough. And then when I realized that I was missing something and I'd have to fight all these enemies again, I said, forget it. I'm out.
Right.
Controller down. See you later.
But I actually really liked what I had played, and I know the sequel's coming up, and maybe I should just swallow my pride and get it done so I can play the sequel, which could be fantastic.
Yeah, well, I'll let you know.
Great. All right, and I guess as for me, my Rocksmith Vault Play is now up on SplitKick. I am now working on a Street Fighter 4 guide. I know that game is a couple years old, but it is still the hottest game on the market, and a lot of people are playing that online. So, working on a Kickstart guide to help get people leveled up. I guess in the process, I've been playing a lot of Street Fighter Online and destroying fools. I am in the progress of working my way to number 1 Rose player, ranked Rose player in Canada on PSN. I've been the number 1 ranked Rose player on Xbox for almost a year now, and I'm closing in on number 1 on PSN. I'm number 2, and I'm a couple 100 points away. So
that's incredible.
You watch out, number 1 person.
What's their name? You know their name, don't you?
I don't remember their name.
Oh, no. What if it's one of the listeners? Wouldn't that be funny?
That would be funny.
Maybe.
Other things happening on SplitKick. There is a special episode of the Rocket Jump podcast, which features Steve Sanders, who is best known as being a world record holder in Joust, and he was also in King of Kong.
Nice.
So
This is a good movie. I like that.
That's an awesome movie. Todd got to interview him because he's friends with Steve, and it was really entertaining to listen to. I think after watching The King of Kong, I just got really interested in that whole retro competitive game scene.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
listening to Todd and Steve talk about kind of a little more in depth of what's actually happening was awesome. So definitely check out that episode of the Rocket Jump podcast. Other things going on SplitKick, definitely check out the Rocket Jump Show, Bits of Reality, Old Game Plus, Davey Hug Show, Broken Tamriel. You can also email us at bosscast@splitkick.com. Don't forget to download us on iTunes. Also subscribe to us there and review us as well. 5 stars, please. And on Twitter, you can find us at Matty Lang, at Jay Jasicki, and at JetLandyCho. I tried to say that like almost all in one breath, and I am pretty tired now. So I'm going to stop so you guys can sign off.
Later.
All right. See ya.